Okay, so as you can see from our slideshow, we're going to talk a little bit about maps today. All right, we're going to talk about, we're going to go in our time machine. We're going to talk about a long time ago before there were jets and planes and cars and trains, at a time where to get around our great big globe, our world, you would use a boat, a ship. All right, so everybody used a ship to get somewhere. So you had to know where to go or where you're going to sail to. And so at the time, people made these beautiful, beautiful maps. All right, here is so you saw some of those. And these had to be hand drawn, no GPS. And the person that makes a map is called a cartographer. All right. And then other people would copy them and then they would print them up. And because they were so special, they made them very, very beautiful. And you could see some of the things here. Look at this fancy fish here. And that is a Japanese boat. And this is a map of Japan. So the person who made this was coming in this kind of a boat from Europe, but they're showing the kind of ships that they use over in the East. All right. Now, you're sailing all over the world for the king or the queen, and you're buying silk and you're getting spices and gold. And what else is there going to be out on the great big sea? There's going to be ARG, the pirates. So we are going to make a treasure map. All right. But you have a couple of jobs this week, and you're going to come back next week and be ready to make it. All right. Job number one. Job number one is you're going to make a piece of paper old so that it looks like it's an old treasure map. So the first thing we're going to do is going to wrinkle it. What are two things that about old paper? One, it's wrinkled. All right. So you wrinkle it up. And the second thing is it's brown. All right. It's aged in color. So we're gonna fool everybody and pretend that it's old. And we're gonna do that by painting it. We really call it staining it. All right. And we are going to stain it with this coffee. All right. Coffee stain your paper. If you do not have coffee in your house, then you can use tea. Leave the tea bag in for quite a while to get it pretty, pretty, pretty dark. All right, you're going to take a sponge, one of your sponge brushes, but you could take a regular sponge, and all you're going to do is cover it with coffee. And once again, put something down on the table. I want to show you something. So that's going to make it that tanny brown color, going to make it look like it's been hanging around for a few hundred years somewhere. And you just discovered it, all right? But you are going to do both sides because you want to fool everybody. All right, I wouldn't pick it up and handle it a lot. It's going to be fragile. It's going to be easy to rip. But once it dries, it'll be back to normal paper. But I do want to show you this about our, I'm picking it up because when you wrinkled it, see, you can see the color stays in the wrinkles and makes it look old, like an old piece of paper. All right, so that's your first task. Your second task is this, and this will take a while to dry. The second task is after this slideshow in this video, you're going to see that there's two pieces of paper, okay, on the internet, listed under materials, okay, and you can see that they are lists. One of them is a list of things you might want to put in your ocean, in your water part of your treasure map. So it starts with wave, shark, sea serpent, fish, tsunami, hurricane, a squid, whales are here, pirates are here. Okay, now on the other paper are things you might want to put on the land portion. Now don't forget, this is a treasure map. So, when we make our map, which is going to be next week, where are we going to mark the treasure? Probably what? X marks the spot. So we know about that. Other things, quicksand, snakes, swamp, mountain, volcanoes. Kids like to put volcanoes on there. Palm trees. All right, you can read the rest. You could either print these out or you don't have to. You could just look at them for ideas, take another piece of plain white paper and practice. And these aren't the only things. You can think of things. So when we come back next week with your stained paper, then you'll be ready to do your fancy dancy treasure map. One more thing that's on here, and I think it's under here, compass rose. So a lot of you know what that is. It's on all the maps, and you can see one right here. A compass rose is very important for our map because it shows the directions. You're sailing your ship. N is north, and that's up. Opposite is south. East goes over here. West goes over here. And then they would fancy it up because they're making fancy, fancy maps. So they kind of put it in a circle, decorate the circle, and they call it a compass rose because it's round and it's decorative like the flower rose. So, okay. So just 2 little jobs this week, and then you're going to bring it back, and we'll finish our treasure map next week. Have a good week.